Is this thing on? Welcome back to Big Mouth and fancy seeing you here. Happy birthday, Zack Snyder. Yes, this is a very special edition of the dceu Daily on this Saturday, because yesterday was Zack Snyder's birthday, and as I did a video yesterday, I didn't realise it was his birthday, so I do apologise. You're saying, how can you be a Zack Snyder fan if you don't know when his birthday is? Hey, I'm not perfect. I'm not die-hard Zack Snyder, but I'm certainly an admirer of his as a Superman and DC fan. Now, it's interesting, isn't it? Now, before Man of Steel, I didn't actually know who Zack Snyder was. I'd never heard of him. Even though I loved 300 on Watchmen, I didn't know the name of the director. This is a true story. Now, I remember when it broke that Zack Snyder would be directing Man of Steel. So I was reading all these negative comments about him, and I thought, well, who is this guy? Then people were saying, well, he directed Watchmen, he directed 300. From that moment onwards, I thought, wow, this is going to be some special movie. And it was. Now, Zack's back, not only posting on Vero, but posting on Twitter. And he posted an advertisement for a very special event. Listen to this. Dawn of the Dead Director's Cut, 3rd, 22nd, 19 at 6 p.m. Watchmen Director's Cut, 3rd, 23rd, 19. Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice, the Ultimate Edition, 3rd, 24th, 19. Following each screening, there will be a Q&A featuring director Zack Snyder and special cast, crew and guests. To purchase tickets for additional info, wow, the Arts Centre, Vero, wow. That's an awesome event. Unfortunately, I can't go to it, which is sad because I'd love that. I'd love to meet Zack Snyder and ask him some questions. Wouldn't that be fun? But isn't this a great celebration of a man? Isn't it great? Because yesterday was a bit sad. It was the man's birthday, and some of you Zack Snyder fans were quote tweeting haters. Why? It's I think it's like what the Screen Junkie was saying. He's a big Zack Snyder fan, as I am, as a lot of us are. But he kind of spoke out against people, quote tweeting negative stuff. Some people don't like Zack Snyder. Some people don't like his work. He's adult enough and mature enough to take it. Why can't you? It should have been a celebration of the man's birthday. What I've got playing is the Batman v Superman trailer, the 3-minute one, right? This is a celebration of Zack Snyder. I don't want to talk about people who don't like him. If you don't like him, go away. It's fine. I love Zack Snyder because of Man of Steel and Batman v Superman. In fact, yesterday I was watching Emergency Awesome's video about what Kevin Smith was saying about Zack's free Justice League movie plan. And it sounded amazing. 3 movies. The first one was pretty much like the Justice Cut. Obviously, there's differences and you see Darkseid in the end. Then the second one, the team actually go to Apocalypse. And I think in the third one, he comes to Earth. It would have been awesome. And what a tragedy that didn't happen. Zack Snyder, he's a genius. We know he's a brilliant director. And happy birthday, Zack. And your achievements are there. You've got so many fans around the world. What you went through with the death of your daughter, I don't know how you and your good wife handled it. How do you handle losing a child? But you have handled it with such grace. And now you're back. Now you're going to do a zombie movie for Netflix. How exciting is that? We are at the precipice of the Snyder Cut being announced. I'm sure of it. I really am, and that's going to be a day of celebration. You know what I'm going to do? The theatrical cut will be in my hands, and I will snap it in front of all of my subscribers. I think that will be a brilliant celebration of the announcement of the Snyder Cut. But for me, it's about Man of Steel and Batman v Superman. As much as I love 300, as much as I love Watchmen, it's about Man of Steel and Batman v Superman. There's this kind of misconception about Zack Snyder that he was behind everything that happened with Man of Steel and Batman v Superman. It was not Zack's decision to kill Zod, for Superman to break Zod's neck. That was David S. Goyer's. Wasn't he? Even Christopher Nolan questioned that decision but went with it because he trusts and respects David. So even though Man of Steel and Batman v Superman were beautifully directed movies, a lot of the stuff you saw was teamwork between, Man of Steel was teamwork between Zack, David and Chris, right? And then Batman v Superman, again, was a team effort between Zack, Chris Terrio and David S. Goyer. They did a wonderful job, especially with the Ultimate Edition. That was a gift, and this is why we need to see Zack's cut of Justice League. Yes, it's a celebration. It's a celebration of his achievements in film. And Watchmen, 300, Man of Steel and Batman v Superman are 4 amazing movies for me that should be celebrated. This is a video for Zack Snyder's lovers, not haters. You know, everyone has haters and lovers. I have people who hate my content. I have people who love my content. And, you know, I accept that. I always said at the beginning when I first started doing videos, I'll appreciate the thumbs down as much as the thumbs up, because that helps. I want to see people interact, whatever way you interact. I'd rather see someone give me a thumbs down than not interact at all. At least I know. I know there's some people who just do the thumbs down just to downgrade someone's videos. That's cool too. You are free to do it. I'm not going to cry about it. This is not Rotten Tomatoes. I'm not going to start disabling my thumbs ups and thumbs downs. Not that I could anyway. Even if I knew how to do it, I wouldn't do it. People have the right to interact. But what Zack Snyder achieved with the DCEU is beautiful. It wasn't everyone's cup of tea, and that's fair enough. He's gone now. We're going to have a different way. I'm still very excited about the new direction of the DCEU. I'm very excited that Kevin Sugihara has said they're looking to place Superman in the right position. That's right, and that's proper for all Superman fans, because Superman and the DCEU should be something for the many and not for the few. But what Zack Snyder achieved with Batman v Superman and Man of Steel was very brave, especially with BVS. What he did with that movie was very brave. But always, always remember this. He didn't write that movie. It was a team effort. He directed it. He would have made some decisions, of course, within the story. But that story was from Chris Terrio and David S. Goyer, and we must always put those names together and give everyone the credit that they deserve, because mainly Zack Snyder directed those 2 movies, and he did a beautiful job doing it for those of us who appreciate those films. And there's a great many of people, Zack, who do appreciate you, who do appreciate what you've achieved in this industry, but you're not for everyone. No one is, and that's cool, and that's fine. So I don't even know how old you are, Zack. Not that it matters, but I want to personally thank you. I'm a Superman fan. Man of Steel was an amazing movie, amazing. I saw it in the theatre 3 times. It was an amazing experience. It was brilliant. It was a different way to do Superman. Was it the way I would have done Superman as a fan? No. I've done a video already how I would do Superman. I would have him as a kind of character, a god who's been around for thousands of years. We see kind of Highlander-type flashbacks of his history in the Second World War, of, you know, the human race, the governments around the world pressuring him to kill Hitler and him refusing. And as we get to the central point, John Corbin is his friend before he becomes Metallo. I nearly forgot the name, yeah. Before he becomes Metallo. So when he becomes Metallo, Manchester Black arrives and he's pressuring Superman via the media and the government to kill John Corbin, aka Metallo. And this is why we get the backflashes to him being put under pressure to get involved with the Second World War and kill Hitler. And within this film, we see why Superman doesn't kill. And it's a great representation of who Superman is. This is how I would do it. There would be other elements of that I would have, you know, obviously because he's got a great history. I would actually have him bringing up Jimmy Olsen as an adopted son as well. There's lots of different things I would do with it. Some people would love it, some people would hate it. So I definitely would have gone a different direction to Zack, David S. Goyer and Christopher Nolan and Chris Terrio. But that doesn't mean I'm right and they're wrong, or I'm wrong and they're right. This is what I love about these iconic characters who've been around for so long. Everyone has a different opinion, and each opinion is neither right or wrong. It's right for you, and maybe it's wrong for other people. That's great. This is why the internet's great for debate. What's sad about the internet sometimes is how people can't debate in a healthy, constructive manner. Or when you're talking to people, they block you or unsubscribe from you just because they don't agree of your point of view. And this is what I find sad about the internet. Is it Ava who is directing the new Gods movie? She blocked me on Twitter because I had an opinion. It wasn't an aggressive opinion. I wasn't rude, but because she didn't like what I had to say, she blocked me. That's sad. This is the kind of world we live in now, because I want healthy debate with everyone. And really, we strayed a bit, haven't we? But I think it's important because everyone has an opinion about Zack's work. And I think for the people who don't like him, you have every right not to like him. But don't bully him, don't be aggressive, don't be rude. There's a way of saying, you know what, sir, I don't like what you've done, and move on. But when it becomes hate and ugly, this is what I don't like. Zack Snyder is one of the great directors in film history. He's a kind of director who does things differently, and that's beautiful. He knows how to put something on the screen. And I think he was born to direct superhero movies because they really do look like a comic. And what's sad for me, and the only sad thing for me, is we didn't see his 5-movie arc, his Justice League trilogy, which according to Kevin Smith, the second one would have been kind of an Empire Strikes Back ending, which would have been very, very exciting. But of course, Batman v Superman was kind of an Empire Strikes Back. It did finish very somber, and I loved that. And this is why I want to see the Snyder Cut. I want to see what he would have done. I think that Kevin Sugihara, Walter Hamada know that this movie has to be released and be plugged as the real Justice League, so we can just forget about what they did with Joss Whedon. They know it's a mistake. So things are going to be sorted out. So happy birthday, Zack Snyder. I applaud you. I love you. I think you come across and your good wife as beautiful human beings. I am proud that you were involved in the DCEU, in Superman, my favourite character. I thank you for that. I thank you what you said about Smallville, my favourite Superman TV show, my favourite superhero TV show. You know, you said that they kept Superman going at a time when Superman was, there was no films or nothing. You said that your children watched it. That's awesome. Smallville's very special to me. So happy birthday, Zack Snyder, for yesterday. Now, as for the DCEU, there is some Shazam news. I'm going to go away and do another video about the Shazam trailer, which is, there's been an announcement. So this will take a couple of hours to upload. Then I'll be back with more DCEU news. I shall see you then.